Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jennifer Jefferies, the present-day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. The world is filled with peace thieves. Oh, what's a peace thief, Jen? Peace thief is anything that steals our peace. Well, we let steal our peace. Ultimately, we are responsible. We are in control of whether something takes our peace or not. What I know is that the world is filled with constant distractions that are trying to take us away from that state of peace. And I love it. Well, my spiritual teacher says that anyone can be peaceful in the ashram. Anyone can, and the same as you're sitting in that peaceful little home space or the ashram or your church or whatever it is where you are at peace with your higher power. Anyone can be peaceful there. The lesson to learn is to keep your peace amongst the constant distractions of life. So I want to dive in today to some of the ways that I help keep my peace and keep out the peace thieves that are going to be there no matter what. Let's dive in. I think the first one to start with is just negativity and toxicity. Simple things. In our home, Alice and I, we just don't watch the news. We just don't. That kind of stuff is around us all the time. We're really mindful about, if we watch a movie, we won't watch anything that's literally traumatic to our peace. Now, everyone has different things that they thrive on, but we really respectfully look after our peace. So what we're consuming is it's in our mind. It can be either heading us in the right direction to more peace and well-being, or otherwise it can be sabotaging us. So simple things. It can be what we're visually seeing. So imagine like the news and reading and movies and all those things. But also comes down to things like our self-talk. So many people talk nicer to a friend than they do to themselves. It's like, God, what are you doing? We've got to be nice to ourselves. Toxic relationships. The media, and like I'm saying, that's just going to be there no matter what. But we need to be able to surround, or I think it's vital to my mental health, to surround myself with positive, supportive people. And I fill my brain with uplifting content that really nourishes my soul, my spirit. I don't want to traumatize it. I have in the year, I don't watch horror movies and shit anymore. Why the hell would I scare the hell out of my poor little soul that's here to look after me? In my younger days, I thrived on all that. But the wisdom of age, I get the effects that it has on my nervous system. Why would I put myself under those stresses? I just don't nowadays. And watching the news and shit's just as bad. It just is. Stress and overwhelm absolutely steals our peace. Never-ending to-do lists. To-do lists, they really are never-ending. If you could see my desk, I thrive on little bits of colored paper. I've talked about them in previous calls because for me, it's fun. I don't have a list because the list is a stress. I have little bits of colored paper and it's like, when I achieve one, I throw it away. It's like, yay, and I get the little dopamine hit and it feeds. I don't go into overwhelm. It's just easier. It's what works for me. So whatever works for you is cool. That's what works for me. But I do that so I don't go getting overwhelmed by a to-do list. I keep my list fun because everyone has lists, all right? Setting up healthy boundaries is really important. So even if I think about business and my podcast and all my reels and my apps and everything I do, I have a huge demand of people wanting my time, and I have to set boundaries. I'm respectful to myself, and I absolutely get to messages as quick as I can. And at the same time, I will look after my health first. That's huge. So practicing things like mindful techniques. I see Alice, my wife, she'll sit physically and meditate for half an hour or an hour a day, whatever it is for that day. I see her every single morning. As soon as she's out of bed, she does that. For me, I do chanting. So I've followed Hindu teachings and Buddhist teachings for decades. And so that Buddhist walking meditation works for me. So I keep my mind focused on positive things, and that helps keep me centered and at peace. I can just get that warm, fuzzy feeling even thinking about it. I manage my screen time. So I've talked about to friends about the fact that if I wasn't in business, I probably wouldn't use things like social media. But it's a medium for me to, again, same as podcasting, it's a medium for me to sit here in front of bright lights and all this electromagnetic radiation that's zapping at me, although I have things set up for that. But I put myself in this situation because the call for me to want to share some of the information in my brain that I know can help people with other people's health is really important to me. However, I'm also mindful about how I unplug, how I disengage, not addressing things on weekends. I give myself that time so that I have the time for real face-to-face kind of nurtured interactions. Because so often, and I see it at restaurants, there'll be two people sitting at a table, both on their bloody phones, not even chatting. It's like, what are you doing? It's huge. So that's one. Mindfully monitoring, screen time is probably the best way to put it. And everyone's going to choose to manage that differently. I know what I do for me that I don't feel pressured and stressed by it. Something that comes through the use of technology nowadays is that social pressure and comparison. What I know is you can't trust bloody photos, and especially now with AI, you can't trust photos, you can't trust so much stuff that's out there. And yet I'm seeing people and talking to people who are comparing themselves to others and then put judgments on themselves, and it totally can steal your peace. What I know is that we are all unique, and my journey is my journey. Someone else's is their journey. So if you choose to, look at someone else, someone might be tripping around on holidays and stuff, but you don't know all the stuff that is their backstory that allows them to be in that place now. And I see it really bad with the young ones, even with my son in Q over in Thailand. I've worked 40 years to get the life that I have, and he's 23 wanting time and money freedom that I've taken 40 years to earn. And it's so big in the young ones. They're wanting that, that my generation took 20, 30, 40 years to earn. So there's big comparison and social pressures. So come from gratitude. Focus on what you have got, your own growth, your own progress. Focus on your life, because that's ultimately what will keep your peace. Just celebrate all the little wins and all the achievements, and just love on you, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Don't worry about the future. If you're worrying about the future, you're living it. Well, if you do worry, you're living in the future. If you do guilt, you're living in the past. And worrying about the future, fears and worries, they keep us trapped, because 9 times out of 10, probably 99 out of 100, those fears and worries are absolutely unfounded. And what we're worrying about doesn't even come to fruition. And yet we've let it steal our peace in the meantime. So for me, it's if I find myself being aware of something in the future and starting to worry about it, I'll come back. And, grounding myself is important. Using essential oils like vetiver, my sanity saver blend, I designed to help keep me grounded. I have such a forethinking, creative ADHD brain, which is my absolute superpower, but I have to keep myself grounded. I'll put a link in the show notes to the essential oil blend that I designed for busy brains like me, because it really helps me keep my peace. I use it. I can use it at bedtime, like putting a drop on the soles of my feet. Your feet are waterproof, not oil-proof. And it's a great way to ground your mind. Vetiver is an amazing essential oil. It's not sedative, but it grounds just wonderfully. So I love that, whether in a diffuser or putting it. I really use it in particular when I travel to help keep my peace. But yeah, it's a daily thing, because my brain just gets so damn excited and can go off on all these tangents. So yeah, we've got to do things to restore and keep your peace in advance. Okay, so remember your boundaries. Remember what you're taking in the way of media and social media and all those things. Whether you're going to do meditating, whether you're going to move your body, whether you're going to do walking meditations, whatever, we need to do self-care. We need to ask for help, whether you're the kind of person who needs, counselors or therapists, or someone like me. My closest mates, that, I know that they're there and I'm there for them if we just need. But at the end of the day, be present. Give yourself permission to stop worrying, to take time to just enjoy whatever it is today. Like, I sat out the back of my house before and I just watched the bees. My native bees come out of their hive when it's about 23, 24 degrees. It's a cold winter's morning this morning, down in really single digits, and it was bloody cold. And at first, when I went out to the hive early on, the sun had just come onto the hive, and because I love to go and look at my bees, and they weren't moving yet. And I thought, oh, my bees have died, my bees have died. And I went, Jen, it's just not warm enough yet. Went back half an hour later, and they were busy having a great time, all exiting the hive out to go and do their, flying around and gather pollen for the day. And it was just like, oh, I love it. I just sit and watch the bees. Be grateful for all those moments. That's the stuff that keeps you peace. And ultimately, just be gentle with yourself. Just be gentle with yourself. Our self-talk can be so damn savage at times, and we take our own peace away. We don't even let someone else steal it. We just give ourselves a hard time. Be gentle with yourself and be intentional to reclaim your peace, and then be proactive to keep your peace. Let's cultivate self-awareness and recognize those peace thieves are always going to be there. And we can work mindfully with the simple things I've mentioned today to help keep them in check. Put those boundaries up. They don't have to take your peace. It is a choice. Okay? Your peace is an absolute valuable gift, and it deserves protection and nurturing. The healthy life hack is be proactive. What can you do today? What's one thing you can do today to bring yourself back to center, be grounded, and restore your peace? And then build on that. Build on that. Build on that. If you want to go to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, and I will put a link there to my Sanity Saver blend that I absolutely use to help keep me grounded and peaceful. Have fun. I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review, have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. I welcome your emails, and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.